Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Naranchaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim
Devim
Saraswati
Saraswatyam
Tado Jayamudiraye
Tato
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam
Nityam
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavate uttama-śloke
Bhagavate Shloke
Bhaktin Bhavatirnaistiti
Bhakti
Bhakti
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishna Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya cha
Devaki Nandanaya
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nandagopakumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya
Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for the morning Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, text number 9. The first step in God realization. The chapter name is The First Step in God Realization. So we are going to discuss 9th sloka today. Please repeat the sloka behind me. Pariniṣṭhito api nairguṇya
Pariniṣṭhito api nirguṇya
uttama-śloka-līlayā
uttama-śloka-līlayā
gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe
gṛhīta-cetā rājarṣe
ākhyānaṁ yat adhītavān
ākhyānaṁ adhītavān.
Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me. Pariniṣṭhitaḥ,
pariniṣṭhitaḥ,
fully realized.
fully realized.
Api, in spite of.
in spite of.
Nairguṇye,
nairguṇye,
in transcendence.
in transcendence.
Uttama, enlightened.
Enlightened.
Sloka, verse. Līlayā, by the pastimes. Gṛhīta, being attracted. Cetāḥ, attention. Rājarṣe, O saintly king. Ākhyānaṁ, delineation. Yat, that. Adhītavān, I have studied. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanavinda A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation, please repeat behind me. O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendence. Yet, I was still attracted by the delineation of the pastimes of the Lord, who is described by enlightened verses. Purport. The absolute truth is realized at the first instance as the impersonal Brahman by philosophical speculation, and later as the Supersoul by further progress of transcendental knowledge. But if by the grace of the Lord an impersonalist is enlightened by the superior statement of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, he is also converted into a transcendental devotee of the personality of Godhead. With a poor fund of knowledge, we cannot adjust to the idea of the personality of absolute truth, and therefore the personal activities of the Lord are deplored by the less intelligent impersonalist. But reasons and arguments, together with the transcendental process of approaching the absolute truth, help even the stung impersonalist to become attracted by the personal activities of the Lord. A person like Śukadeva Gosvāmī cannot be attracted by any mundane activity. But when such a devotee is convinced by a superior method, he is certainly attracted by the transcendental activities of the Lord. The Lord is transcendental, as are his activities. He is neither inactive nor impersonal. Om Anjana Timrandasya Jnanāñana Shalake. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnanāñana Shalake. Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashasha Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today's sloga, Śukadeva Gosvāmī is talking about himself. So what he is saying to Parikshit Maharaj, O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendence. He was in the transcendental position. Transcendentalist. Transcendental in the sense, they are not attracted with this material things. Not attracted with any of the material things. They are detached from the material things, like sadhu sannyasis. They don't have anything to do with this material things, money or any fame, any beauty, nothing, no opulence, nothing. They are perfectly situated in the transcendental position. And so even though he is situated in that detached position, what he is saying that, yet I was still attracted by the delineation of the pastimes of the Lord. So by hearing the pastimes of the Lord, he got attracted. So even the pastimes of the Lord attract the liberated soul like Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So that is the power of the Lord attraction. So there are so many verses in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is describing the Lord attraction. So everybody aware that, we all aware how Śukadeva Gosvāmī became a devotee of the Lord. He was a son of Vyasadeva, and he was in her mother's stomach, in the stomach womb, mother's womb. He was there 12 years actually. He was not ready to come out from the mother's womb. And his father, Vyasadeva, was saying, your mother is getting a problem, you come out. See, 12 years you are still inside. Why you are not coming out? He was telling that if I come out, the Maya will attract. The illusionary energy of the Lord will attract me. Otherwise, so I will deviate from this transcendental path. So that is the fear he had. So he was not coming out from his mother's womb. Then Vyasadeva approached Krishna when he was in Dwaraka as a king. Then he approached. Then he knows that he is a supreme personality of Godhead. Then he asked Krishna to come and ask Śukadeva Gosvāmī to come out from the womb of the mother and give the blessing so that the Maya won't attack him. So Krishna personally came there and he blessed Śukadeva Gosvāmī. He told that he gave the promise that Maya won't attack you, you come out like that. Then Śukadeva Gosvāmī came out from the womb of his mother. And what he did immediately, when he came out from the mother's womb, he was 12 years, that time 12 years of age he was. So he was not listening anybody. He was not seeing anybody, whether his father, mother, nothing. Directly he walked out of the house. He was on the way to jungle, to the forest for the enlightenment. Because he was in the womb itself, he was by birth itself, he was a detached person, detached. So he was in the forest and he became an impersonalist. Impersonal in the sense, there is no form for the Lord. We have to, at the end of the life, we have to go and merge with the Lord's light. So that mentality, where there is no form, Lord is impersonal. So he was the impersonalist, Mayavadi. He was initially a Mayavadi. But Vyasadeva, who wrote Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, he knows Lord is personalist. Lord is personal. He is a devotee of the Lord. So he wanted his son, father who wrote the literature, he was a personalist. But the son who is not accepting that. That means how it will be. So he wanted to enlighten his son, give with the Lord's pastimes and all those things. But he was already in the jungle. He was not ready to come and listen all those steps. So who are all there along with him in the jungle, he used to send one of his disciple, Vasudeva, go and he was giving the Lord's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 1 or 2 verses. He will go and ask to give this knowledge to my son. Either he used to give. So by hearing that, then he got the eagerness to learn about Krishna, to know about Krishna. Then he came back. So there are the 2 important verses in that. So there are 2 important verses. One of the verse is talk about the Lord's form. The another verse it's told about it described about the Lord's qualities. By hearing these 2 things, Śukadeva Gosvāmī got astonished, and he wanted to, desire in his heart got increased. I want to know more about this personality. So he came back to his house. So what are those 2 verses? We can see only the translation so that it will be nice for us also. First verse, the 3rd chapter, 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, 23rd verse. Just this is the translation. So, alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So, here the Krishna's quality. So, even though the Putana, the demon, she came to poison Krishna to kill, her intention was to kill Krishna, but even though he came in that intention, Lord gave her the position as a mother because she came here to feed him. But he came here to feed her milk. So because of that, he gave the position as a mother. So here, then by hearing this, Śukadeva Gosvāmī got astonished. Oh, how great the personality. Definitely I want to know the personality because how merciful he is. Even though the person who came and kill you, that person, you gave them position as a mother. So definitely is a great personality. So I wanted to hear more about him. Like that, he attracted by this sloka. And another sloka in the 10th canto, 21st chapter and 5th sloka. So I just reading the translation. This is describing the form of the Lord. Wearing a peak of feather ornaments upon his head, blue karnikara flowers on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and the Vaijayanti garland, Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dances as he entered the forest of Vrindavana, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and the covered boys sang his glories. So by hearing all those things, so Krishna has a head, and he is wearing the yellow color. He has the ears. The flowers are, Karnika flowers are the ears. And the garment, he is wearing the garland. It is in golden color. And he is wearing the Vaijayanti garland. And his transcendental form is dancing. Greatest of dancers. And he entered the Vrindavana forest. He entering. And he is beautifying the forest by his footprints. He has the foot. And he is using the flute. And he has the lips, the nectar of his lips. He is giving the nectar of his, so he has the lips. So by hearing all those qualities of the Krishna, then form of the Krishna, then he understand, okay, Krishna is a personality. Because till that time, he was an impersonalist. Śukadeva Gosvāmī was an impersonalist. By hearing this sloka, immediately he got attracted with this. Oh, then I wanted to hear more about this personality. So he inquired that people who devotees who came over there, who are giving this knowledge to Śukadeva Gosvāmī, they were in the jungle, they were asking, who gave this, who wrote this, from whom you learned all those things? Then he told, we learned from your father only. Then immediately he came back to his house, Śukadeva Gosvāmī, and again he asked his father, Father, teach me this, tell me more about Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Then Vyasadeva gave the knowledge of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So from this, and we can understand that Lord's form and his qualities, it is so transcendental and it is very blissful. It will attract even the liberated soul like Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So what to speak of all the other normal devotees. So liberated souls are always attracted with the Lord's pastimes and the Lord's qualities, Lord's form. So there is a sloka in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, 7th chapter and 10th sloka, 10th text. So this is very famous sloka. It's a ākhyānaṁ sloka. So Atmanamas means who are the self-realized souls. So Sutta Goswami is telling, see, I'm just reading the translation. All different varieties of Atmaramas, those who take pleasure in the Atma or spirit self, especially those established on the path of self-realization, though freed from all kind of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service under the personality of Godhead. This means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls. So this is what we discussed now. How liberated souls are attracted. So this is there in the Bhagavatam also, another sloka. So Atmanamas, who are in the self-realized path, when they hear about, even though they are left all the material bondage, everything, but they have the desire. What is the desire? To do the unalloyed devotional service under the personality of Godhead. Why? Because they have the attraction towards the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So that is the reason even the transcendental qualities of the Lord attracting the liberated souls as well. There are so many examples in this world we can see. One of the pastime of Rājarṣe, when Rājarṣe in his younger days, when he was in the Gurukula, when he was joined, because during that time, the impersonalist was running the Gurukulas. There are so many impersonalist schools were there. So Rājarṣe joined there one of the school, impersonalist school, and he accepted as one of the impersonalist guru, and he was hearing from him. And one of the sloka, it is explaining about Krishna's lips. So when he is expecting the lip is Krishna's lip is red in color. It is that is explained in Sanskrit. So if in Sanskrit one word it can have more than 16 meanings. So it is same word, it can, how it is coming at a particular place, the next other places it may give a different meaning, but the same word. So that is the quality of the Sanskrit. So only the scholars can understand, who is the very much scholared in the scriptures, then they can only interpret that in a proper way. So during this Rājarṣe time, he interpreted that whatever it is written in the Sanskrit, he interpreted that Lord's lips are like if you see the Vrindavan monkeys are there. There is a varieties of monkeys. There are multiple varieties of monkeys. Here we are seeing some monkey, some other monkeys, and some monkey like a big monkey. It's a cap kind of things are there in the side. So in Vrindavan, there is a different type of monkey. It look like it's a kind of a back of the monkey. It has the only little. They won't have the tail, long tail. Only they have a small tail, and their backside of the monkey, it looked like a reddish. So that impersonalist, he was describing that sloka, the Lord's lips are like the backside of that Vrindavan monkeys. Like that he was explaining. So Rājarṣe, he was unable to control him. Tears are coming from his eyes. How come this person is explaining about Lord's lips comparing to a backside of a monkey? So he don't know, he's not able to interpret this properly. So then Rājarṣe is unable to control himself. Then he woke up and he told that to his guru, sir, whatever you are interpreting, this is not a correct interpretation. Then he interpret the wordings, because the wordings, yes, the words will be, sometimes the word will be together. We need to cut those pieces, cut into pieces, then we can understand the real meaning of that. Then in Sanskrit. So he connected the words properly, and it is coming as there is a there is a fruit, bimpa fruit. Bimpa, the name, I guess. The bimpa fruit, it is like a reddish color. So, Lord's lips are look like a reddish color, like that bimpa flower, but bimpa fruit. But this is the way we have to interpret. Not the you need to connect the words like this, so that the meaning is like Lord's lips are like a the fruit. The fruit is just reddish color. So Lord's lips also in the this is compared in this sloka. It is mentioning that fruit, not the monkey's backside. That is the way he explained. Yes, he is a scholar in Sanskrit. So he is Acharya. So in a small age itself, he revealed that. So he told that, oh Guru. Then Guru got angry. How come? He got astonished first. How come this boy can intelligently interpret it? Then he told, see, if yours, since they are impersonalist, they are not giving any any attention to Lord's qualities. So that impersonalist is what they told. Okay, if you want to, if you are thinking you are a scholar, you go and open your school separately, go out, like that they told. Then Ramajacharya came out and he started his own school, because all the schools are impersonal schools. They are not giving any importance to the Lord's personality. Lord is the person, like that. They are in the impersonal, their only aim is to merge into the Lord. That is the way they are teaching the school. Then Ramanacharya established and he gave the real meaning of what is the impersonal. Lord is the person, Lord is the personality, how he is, what is his qualities, how he is formed, all those things he explained to that. Then he attracted the devotees. Then he made the people as a Vaishnavas. He made so many Vaishnavas there. So even though the impersonalist, they are Mayavadis, so those person. So here in this sloka today, today's our sloka, Śukadeva Gosvāmī was the cutter impersonalist, but still he got attracted by the Lord qualities. Then he became a devotee of the Lord. He became a personalist. So there only the Lord won't give this kind of chance to not everyone. Because Lord has the plan for Śukadeva Gosvāmī. That is the reason, even though he born as an impersonalist, later he attracted by the Lord's qualities. Then he became a personalist. He became a devotee of the Lord, great devotee of the Lord. So Lord has from this verse we can understand that Lord has the plan for each one of us, everyone. So we don't want to try this, that, okay, what I am going to do, what I will do, shall I do this, shall I do that? We don't want to do anything. Whatever the coming on your way, we have to catch hold of this and we have to go. And one more thing, we have to understand that whatever we are thinking, whatever thinking, we will be in that mode only. If our thinking is like destroying others, we will be in that mood. Then we will be destroyed. We will be one time more, because because our mind is like a magnet. It will attract whatever surrounding, whatever is there, it will attract that only. So if you are thinking something bad, then all the bad things will be attracted by your mind, because your thinking is like that. So your mind is working as a magnet. What is there in the surrounding, all the bad things will be attracted by you. Then you will get into that direction. But when you think about the Lord's forms, Lord's qualities, and to serve the desire to serve the Lord, surrounding also having that qualities also, then your mind again the magnet, it will attract that thing, and then you can go in that direction. So that is the reason, if you see, there are glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is said in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam itself, in the first canto, first chapter, second sloka. So I'm just reading the translation. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. Highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scriptures? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within the heart. So what is required here? This is the highest truth. So this Bhagavatam only is enough, sufficient for the God realization, and this is rejecting all the material motivation. So this is a spiritual motivation, and this is God. This is giving the sufficient for God realization. And if you hear it attentively and submissively, this message of Bhagavatam, what will happen? The knowledge will establish the Supreme Lord within our heart. So that is the power of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And in the next sloka, it is what is the, again, this is all the important slokas. So that's the reason I want to discuss. So what is the quality of the Bhagavatam? Here again, this sloka, O expert and thoughtful men, release Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literature. It emanates from the lips of Sri Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already reachable for all, including the liberated souls. See, liberated souls also, they are releasing the nectar of Bhagavatam, even though they are detached from all those material activities, material things, detached from this material world, but still they are attracted. They also got attracted by this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. That is the quality of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is a mature fruit of a Vedic literature, desire tree of Vedic literature. So this is a very topmost mature scripture. So that is the quality we can understand from this sloka. And daily we are reciting, before Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class, we are reciting this sloka. Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama-śloke bhaktin bhavadit nairguṇye. What is the meaning? By regular attendance in the class on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service under the personality of Godhead, who is prized with transcendental song, is established as an irrecoverable fact. So here also, it is again another statement. It is making very strong that who are all regularly attending the Bhagavatam and doing service to the pure devotees, whatever the troublesome in our heart, everything will go away. It will completely destroyed. And what will emanate? What will be established in our heart? It is loving service under the Supreme Personality of Godhead that will develop in our heart. So that much powerful the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is. So we are all so fortunate to read, to discuss about Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, because this is the very lifetime achievement for us, because we are able to release this each and every day. Even though we are less in numbers, at least some devotees we have putting time, and we are try to understand what is there in Bhagavatam. So first of all, we need to make sure that we are continuing this reading Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam, and discussing Bhagavatam, so that whatever the problem in our heart, it will be destroyed, and the Lord will be established in our heart. So today's sloka, Śukadeva Gosvāmī, he talked about how he attracted by Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, how he enlightened by these verses. Whatever the verses we discussed, he enlightened by these verses, and by hearing the pastimes of the Lord. So by reading this, definitely even Śukadeva Gosvāmī is celebrated, so he got attracted. We will also get attracted, and we can also aim here. The Lord will come in our heart, and he will stay in our heart permanently. So let hope for that. We will continue our endeavor. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.